to the Honest Edit, where we're getting our shit together one day at a time.
Always.
Woohoo!
I'm Scarlett. This is Holly.
Hi.
Welcome to our show. We are still in my home office, and I'm still all crooked on that video, but that's okay. We're just going to roll with it because that's what we do. We just continue on. Today, we're talking about how it is not just the bins. We feel basically organizing can be a healing journey.
I had the different one in front of me, but yes, that's what we're doing.
Oh, I thought we were doing...
No, it's okay. We do.
See, this is how prepared we are.
We're doing great. Yeah. So...
Should we just do the intro over again?
No, I think we just keep going.
Okay. All right.
Keep going. This
Producer Rylan, we are going to be imperfect on this episode of The Honest Edit, and it is called Not Just the Bins, How Organizing Became a Healing Journey. And here we go, Away with Holly.
Away with Holly. Okay, y'all remember back in COVID day where everyone was like, oh my gosh, I just need to put everything in a bin and my life will be organized, blah, blah, blah. And we were all just like, yeah, let's do it. And then
make sure it's color-coded.
And make sure it's color-coded and labeled and all of the things. Well, that works for like a hot minute, but if you have too much shit to put in the bin, then it's just going to
overflow.
So most people think that haven't worked with organizers think that we just come in and we put stuff in bins.
Yeah. Or we get rid of all your shit.
Yes.
Yeah.
One of two things happen, but that's not really what happens.
No.
We are often helping people during different seasons and chapters of their life. They're processing major change or different, creating boundaries or, starting a new job or starting a family or just a different, like something different happens or something in their brain is like something has to give.
Something clicks. Maybe they want more efficiencies in their life, or they feel like they need a reset with their home. Or like you said, they're about to plan for a next chapter and they need change. More clarity.
And so when that happens, a lot of us haven't been taught how to stay organized, what it really means. And that's why we default to like, they're going to throw away my stuff or just put everything in a container. I'm
going to get a storage unit and my house will feel lighter, but then I have to sit here and pay bukus of money to keep all this crap that I may not want.
And you're just kicking the can down the road.
Yep.
So a lot of what we do is we do some emotional healing. So organizing is not just putting stuff into bins or categories or decluttering, but it's also healing, coaching, teaching you how to organize, what systems would be good for you, pivoting. If we pick a system that doesn't really work, that still feels a little frustrating, we can pivot to another one. We've worked with thousands of different personalities and people and families and ages. And so we have a lot of tools to work through.
And sometimes it's just about prioritizing, really what you want. How does the space look or operate? Maybe interest or what's important to somebody now versus maybe what was important 10 years ago. We evolve and we grow as we get older, and lifestyle changes affect a lot with our environment or our space. And so it's really just having a conversation to identify what is important to me now, what am I trying to accomplish with my environment, and then going from there. And then we talk it through, because even for me, as simple as, we're bringing on a new service in the company and we're going to be able to provide wardrobe styling, which is fantastic. And I'm very excited about it. We tested the service out by having them come into our closets. And there was stuff I never would have let go on my own, even as an organizer, the stuff that I thought I was sort of married to because, this was fun and a memory. And this was so cute on me like 15 years ago, even though I really couldn't even get one leg in it now, and it was nice to have someone that understands how to work through that process to say, Scarlett, okay, seriously, let's be real for a second. First of all, this may have looked good on you when you were 26. You're now in your 40s. And let's revisit how we feel we're going to look by trying it on.
Unfortunately, we are not forever 21.
Yeah.
Right?
Yes.
I had a client tell me that the other day, that she had a baby. She went back and she lost her baby weight. She got really fit. And she was going through her closet. And she's like, half this stuff doesn't fit. And what does fit is not in style anymore.
Right.
It's not even cute. And she's like, I got rid of so much stuff by just trying it on and being like, this is not the look anymore. And we're not saying like you have to go buy new stuff. It's just get rid of those things that you're holding on to. Mm-hmm. A lot of people, the clutter becomes emotional.
Yes.
And they're like, we can't ever get through that. And couple things, like it's always going to be this way. I'm never going to be an organized person. And a lot of people hold on to stuff because of safety, because of memories, guilt, unresolved decisions. Like, grandma gave this to me and I can't get rid of it because it's going to make her sad. Grandma's dust. Grandma gave it to you because she wanted you to be happy. If it's not bringing you joy and it's bringing you stress, let's toss it to the next person
that would enjoy it and would love it and would utilize it and would bring them, like you said, joy. They see it and they go, oh my gosh, I've always wanted this.
This is why I have to be careful at vintage stores and like thrift stores, because I see like an old piece of milk glass that somebody doesn't want. And I'm like, oh my gosh, this is going to complete my collection. Right? And so, or I can use this for my lip glosses, or I can use this to put my Q-tips in. I have my milk glass in as like storage in my bathroom. And I use something pretty because it makes me happy. So clutter can become emotional. And I want to break down this theory that another organizer came up with. Her name's Dana White. And she came up with clutter threshold. Okay. So follow me on this. So everyone has a different clutter threshold. Mine is different than Scarlett's, different from clients. So what that means is like, what is your limit of the clutter that you can have? So I know, and I'm living with Legos in my son's room. I'm living with, there are bins and bins of Legos, and it makes him so happy. Do I want them all organized and labeled, and so I know where to find this one and then that one and whatever? Yes, I do, but he doesn't. He wants to be able to just scoop in there, pour out the Legos, figure it out. Also, side note, this morning he stepped on a Lego and screamed bloody murder, and I kind of giggled a little bit in my heart because I was like, he's like, I just stepped on a Lego. I was like, yeah, fucking hurts, doesn't it? Pick that shit up. And then I was like, oh, baby, I'm so sorry. It does hurt, doesn't it? So let's just watch where we walk, or maybe get him off the floor. Anyways, let's go. Getting back to the clutter. So everyone has a different clutter limit, clutter threshold. So what that means to me is like, I know where all of my stuff is. I can go into my Monica closet, but I know where everything is. There's a lot of stuff in there. And if Scarlett saw it, it would be completely overwhelming to her. But for me, it works because I know where everything lives in there. It's not so much labeled, but like I know exactly where my phone cases are, or this charger is, or the push pins are, or whatever. And for some people, that doesn't work, especially for our spicy brain ADHD people. You need to have your stuff out in the open where you can see. I have 5 staplers and they all live right here. And maybe there's a bin that says staplers. So once you start introducing bins in a system, you want to make sure that the limit, the container that you have isn't overflowing. Yeah. You can actually put your hand inside of it, get out what you need. That's why we categorize everything into a bin.
It's like one simple category.
Right.
Yeah.
One category. So all of the staplers are in a bin. And then you realize, oh man, I have 6 staplers. Do I need 6 staplers? Do I need to take up this much space with the staplers? And then you get to go through and declutter all of these categories before you put it in a bin. And that helps your healing, and that helps how your brain functions, because you're like, instead of it being all over my office and having, 15 different things of the same thing in my office that's cluttering and taking up, I can put them all in here. I can grab it without having to move anything else. And that is being organized. So you don't have stuff everywhere that tells you your negative self-talk and tells you that I'm never going to be an organized person. I can't keep this together. It's just that you need a system that will help heal you and help you create boundaries and a habit to be able to just live within whatever your limit of clutter is.
Right. And that's a great point. Yeah, that makes excellent points. And touching on the bins again is that we keep them simple to a certain category. So it's easy to label and it's clear cut. But it could be like a working bin. It could be a bin where it can overflow if there's too much shopping, and that within itself is a part of the system, because you need to reset then. You need to go through that bin and dwindle it down. You'll never see us put a bin together that says miscellaneous, because then that is just going to be a total struggle bus on fire. But also, proving more to your point is I had a client the other day that I was working with, and before the session even got started, she was in tears. And this was a type of session where her space got completely overwhelmed. I'm talking like you can't even open up her bedroom door. And she partly hasn't, she moved back to her mom's house, her partner and her split. She's in transition, so it's like kind of like her, growing up bedroom. She left it, life was already overwhelming then. She moves into a place with her partner, lives there for so many years, moves back, has even more stuff. And,
and all the emotional attachments.
Yeah, going down memory lane, but then also it's a lot of change. And then she just felt like we were going to come in and completely just make her get rid of everything. And it was a lot for her nervous system, because it was too much change at that time. Your brain is wired to protect you, and it doesn't like a lot of change because there's a lot of uncertainty. Also, she just was unaware of this was like a gift from her mom. So she was unaware of really how we were going to operate. So basically the first couple of hours was really just creating her comfort. And she, by the end of the session, we were laughing. We were having an amazing time. She let go literally 5 giant landscaping trash bags of just like trash, because a lot of it was like moving and whatever. And then also, I think it was 10, it might have been 12, but it was just reserve it here. 10 large black trash bags of donation.
That's huge.
It is a ginormous step, because she felt like she couldn't let go of anything, or at least that's what her mom told us. And she's like in her 30s, and we were able to sort and categorize things into bins for her, so that while we are tote bins, at the lid. So while we are still in motion and working with her through the process, sorry, my retainer's popping up. She knows where to find things right now.
Yes.
And so we can because we got like halfway through the room within our session. We've got another session to go through. So it's just, it's really having a conversation, understanding your threshold. I like how you brought that up. It's very much different for me. A pile on my kitchen counter will set me off. I mean, I'm being dramatic here, but it just, I walk in from a very long day. The last thing I want to see is a pile on my counter, and I'm going, hey, who's here?
Yep.
Who put the pile here?
Yep. I have that too. I'll come in, and I've had multiple conversations with my husband of like, if the kitchen counter is clean, and I've said this before, if the kitchen counter is clean, I feel loved and taken care of, and all of the things. If there's piles of stuff on it or unopened boxes or whatever, like I come in feeling real spicy. So it's very emotional. I would say that most of my clients and I develop a friendship, because I'm the feeler. I'm the, hey, this box is really, really overwhelming to you. Let's like sit down. Let's get some tea. Let's put on nice song. Let's take some deep breaths. Let's go through X, Y, and Z. So we'll create like a little mini therapy sesh, a little safe environment.
Yeah.
I have a friend that's a client. She lost both her parents. She has an entire downstairs under closet of bins from her parents that she has not gone through. And she's like, this is my goal. I want to do the whole house and then I want to get to there.
Yeah.
Really quick. You know who you are because I'm talking about you. The other day we were in a room and there's this beautiful piece of vintage, like old antique furniture. And I was like, what is in here? And she goes, don't open it. And I was like, I'm going to. And so I did. And it's all these beautiful teacups. And I love old stuff, y'all. And she's like, I just don't want to put them. And my dad had a tea shop and this was part of his tea shop. And it's like, I was like, I just opened a bomb. This is an emotional thing.
Yes.
And so I was like, look, if this is where they fit right now and this doesn't need to be used for a different space.
And it doesn't bother her.
Yeah. It's not going to bother me. Let's leave them here.
Right.
And then one day we can use them if you want to use them, or we can display them, or we can keep them safe in a box because you want to have them forever. And this is something you can't let go of. That's also okay. Now, if these were in the kitchen taking up
prime real estate
space, I would say, okay, let's move these.
Right.
So that's where the professionals can come in to help guide you through some of this emotion. Because again, it's about all of these memories. It's about this thing that she hasn't opened for years. And it's like she feels safe because she knows that it's here.
Yeah.
I'm like, okay, we can keep it there. But clothes that don't fit you, that are, 10 years out of style, we can pass those on.
But everybody's different. Like you touched on two excellent points where it's like, it may be where someone passed away and you're going through memories or you're just going through memories in general. And I feel like that's one of the hardest subjects to tackle is memories. But then again, it could be just as simple as a very overflowing closets. I mean, I've had some closets that have taken me 14 hours because someone had a shopping habit and was shopping away their feelers and they got to their threshold and then they could no longer function in their closet and that needed to be a conversation. And so I feel a lot of our clients just don't really know where to start and just walking up to the task, they automatically feel very overwhelmed. So it's really set your goal. What are you looking to accomplish? What is overwhelming you? Then prioritize. I would like to meet this goal and however it looks, and this is how I can do it. If you're not working with an organizer, I mean, we really, yes, I'm type A, and yes, I like to get it done. And yes, I watch that clock because I'm respectful of your time and your budget. So you do an amazing job with creating that safe environment. But it also, for me and what I do with clients, it's about what I did with the girl from a few days ago, with the overwhelming bedroom. I kept telling her what to expect, and I was building that friendship and that rapport because I'm literally coming and walking into her personal space, handling her items, and it makes anyone feel very vulnerable. But it's just saying, okay, here's what you're going to expect. Here's what we're going to do. And I prolonged her from working with us too. I literally, because she thought, oh man, you're going to hold me hostage kind of thing. And we're going to have to work straight from the start. And I said, nope. I was like, why don't you go catch up on something? She had some schoolwork because she went back to school. I was like, go do that. If you feel like you can take that on today, plus working with us, go focus on that. I sent her away and our team sorted and got our bearings, and it gets us into the swing of things and gets us into a mindset. We gain clarity about what we're dealing with. What categories, what are we looking at? We can identify things very quickly. And then I also feel like it's manageable for the client to go category by category by category. We had separated the space by one room full of clothes and the second room full of stuff.
Mm-hmm.
And then that stuff, whether it was shoes, accessories, memories, I don't know, there was some kitchen stuff, there was like electronics, there was some paperwork. And a lot of clients we feel will gravitate towards what's easy first because then they need to get into a rhythm. And I ask, what would you like to tackle first? What's easier for you to make quick decisions? She picked clothes, and boy, she was lightning fast. She was like, toss, 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 toss. And what she meant by toss was really just donating.
Yeah.
We really only toss like undies and intimates, but like we had all of those donation bags. And then she felt really good because she was seeing the progress.
Yes.
And then at that point, we can just be the cheerleader for her. Man, that was so fast. Great job. Amazing. First thing out of her mouth when we got done with the clothes was, I can't even believe that was so easy.
Right.
And I let all that go so fast.
And she's not in like the mindset of this has to be this way. She feels calmer, clearer. She feels proud of herself for getting it done.
And then we can tackle a harder category. Right. And sometimes with memories, like I told this to another client the other day, because they feel they're procrastinating because we're supposed to do this giant storage closet, has all the memories in it. They thought in their mind we were going to be getting rid of stuff. And I said, no. I said, there are better ways to consolidate things. And we're not going to go too far down memory lane because then I will be here all week and we'll be living together. But we're going to stay on task. And there's just easier ways of organizing, like let's say photos.
Yeah.
You know, you could take a big giant tote of photos and consolidate that down and categorize it so you know where it is. It doesn't take up so much space anymore.
And then when you're like looking for a photo, you know, I can go right here instead of having to go through this big daunting box. Those are these little steps we take before. So then you have you have the emotional healing of going through it. And you guys have heard of the art box that I do for Max. This week is a week that we took the art box out because it was full. And I'm like, all right, let's go through this. And Max got rid of more than half of everything in there because it didn't resonate with him.
Yeah.
And that happens with memories a lot.
Yeah.
We'll go through the box and it's not, again, about getting rid of stuff. It's about categorizing it and making sure it still feels important to save.
Yes.
And
a lot of times people just automatically let things go because
they're
they
like,
see, I really don't need that. This is not hard.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. So you take that pressure off. You don't have to get rid of it, but there's a better way to organize it.
Yeah.
To where you're consolidating it down and you're not paying for a giant storage unit or it's not encroaching onto your prime real estate where you operate from a day to day.
Right.
You want it more in a smaller storage area.
And a lot of the times that we do this, we have big healing moments. Like we'll have some tears, we'll have some grief, we'll have some gratitude, we'll have I feel lighter, I feel so much better, I can breathe. That wasn't as hard as I thought it was going to be. And so a lot of letting go of things creates more space.
Yes.
Like emotional space in your head, in your heart, in your body. And that lets you move on to the next chapter. So as this client is going through all this stuff from her past, all of this stuff from this relationship, she's making more space to actually move forward and start a new chapter.
Right.
And that is huge because a lot of the times we just get thrown on. Here's a new thing. Here's a new thing. Here's a new season. And we don't ever really have the time or energy to catch back up of like, oh, well, I needed to do this. Like Max is 6 years old. There were 5 years of photos that I had started this project and never finished. And I finished it in December. Another reason.
Nicely done.
I was so excited. And now all of his photos are categorized in these little books. And now it's like, oh, this is more manageable now. But instead of doing it every month like I was supposed to, I waited for 5 years. And it was a huge project and I was so irritated about the whole process. But now it feels great. And then I can also hand out these books for Mother's Day. That's my plan to grandmas. And then everyone has the photos. And then I'm not like, because, who prints photos anymore? Sometimes for like a picture frame. But now I'm like, okay, Max has photos of his childhood.
Mm-hmm.
I can go back and look at him. He loves to go pick out a book and go look, and then I'll explain the story or read what I wrote. And so,
and also within doing that, you created a processes. Like now you know what to expect.
Mm-hmm.
You've done it once, and you can just repeat that how often you'd like.
And a lot, I would say that organizing, again, it's not just about the bin and how pretty it is and aesthetically pleasing. When we are creating a system, there is a limit. And that way that helps you say, okay, I have room for, this isn't random number because I know we don't all have 10 pairs of shoes. I have room for 10 pairs of shoes. If I have 30 pairs of shoes, there's no room for that. So I have a limit of this is how much space I have for this thing. And that's what a lot of these systems that we create is like, this is how much space you have in your house. I should be looking at this camera. This is how much space you have in this house. This is how much space you have for X product. When you go on a shopping spree or you go on this, you have to know that when you get back home, if it doesn't fit in here, you can't have it. That's where the overwhelm comes in. That's where the clutter threshold comes from. I know that I have no more room for shoes in my closet. If I want to go buy a new pair of shoes, I have to get rid of shoes to buy new shoes.
And I'm laughing because I have like 87 pairs of shoes.
Right. And
because everybody has their, I wear them all.
Well,
but everybody has their thing.
Everybody has their thing.
Yours is your collection of awesome vintage glasses.
Right.
And you make space for that.
Right.
Mine is shoes. So
my new collection is beading. I told you guys I was doing beading. And now my beading area is packed. Can't have any more. So that's also like a little boundary and limit that I keep in my brain of like, okay, if I buy this, where is it going to go? Or if I take this donation, where is this going to go? If I buy this toy for Max, hey Max, where is it going to go? And so that's just kind of like a good thing to have in your brain is if I got rid of this crap that I haven't looked at in years, I could have space for this new project
it's
or
that
this new collection.
Yep.
It's the prioritizing. And then you also don't feel so bogged down about.
Yeah. It's a form of self-respect for your, in closing here, and a form of self-care.
Yeah.
I'll touch on this one thing because we're going to start wrapping up here in about 30 seconds. But we had a client that kind of similar situation with the one that I was talking about, the daughter. The room was just packed. I mean, couldn't walk in it. She wasn't even sleeping in there. And, but she was never taught how to really clean and take care of things. And she hit her threshold and she hit her limit, and she's at an age where she wants to be taught that. And she always thought that cleaning for her growing up, cleaning was like being in trouble. And so I'm like, we got to flip that script and rework this, because what you're doing is you're taking care of your things, which means you're taking care of yourself, and you're not just throwing them in a corner, and you now have a trash bin. So you just throw trash in the bin instead of just your stuff and trash mixed one, and that is a form to me when a client makes that decision, the self-respect, the self-worth, and the self-care. All rolled into one. Yeah. Like, okay, you've made this decision. You're committing to yourself. Now let's see what that looks like. And there's a few scripts we've got to flip, and there's systems that we put in place, and we make it very, very, very simple to start with, and then they can build on it later.
Yeah. It's making your life easier. It's supporting your future self and reducing friction and making just life easier to just do life. Like life is hard already. So these little things help. So we will be your cheerleaders. Yes. We can be your coach. We can be your project manager. Small systems create a lot of emotional relief and emotional support, especially if you have a house full of stuff. That's not our sushi's here.
Sushi, yeah. So we ordered food, and that's my dog Napoleon losing his mind. Okay, so thank you for joining us for this episode. Stay tuned for the next on The Honest Edit with Holly and Scarlett.
Thanks, y'all. DM us with any questions, concerns, comments, questions. I said questions.
You might have said questions.
Whatever.
Whatever.
We love you. Bye.
Bye.